anyone that wants to have Alzheimer's? Is that right? No one wants to have Alzheimer's. And Alzheimer's doesn't develop quickly. In fact, some people might think it does because they suddenly start to have some lack of memory, they start to have a few things, but it actually hasn't developed quickly. It's developed over a long time. See, what we do in our 20s is revealed on our 40s. What we do in our 40s is revealed in our 60s. What we do in our 60s is revealed in our 80s.
What if some of the most important things happening inside your body right now are completely hidden from view, yet they are influencing how clearly you think, how well you remember things, and how effectively your brain works every morning? And what if many adults over 60 are unknowingly putting their brain health in danger every night, not because they are doing something harmful on purpose, but because of the foods they eat or don't eat before going to sleep? It might sound almost too simple at first, but as you continue, you'll see how closely your evening habits are linked to the long-term condition of your brain. Even more importantly, you'll learn what practical steps can be taken starting today. To understand why this matters, we first need to answer a question that most people rarely think about. What is your brain actually doing while you sleep? Many assume that sleep is a time when the brain largely shuts down, like a computer entering sleep mode. The reality is very different. Throughout the night, the brain remains active and carries out a wide range of biological tasks that are necessary for both short-term and long-term function. While the rest of the body is resting, the brain is working to maintain itself, repair important structures, and organize information gathered during the day. During periods of deep sleep, it performs maintenance that supports memory, concentration, and overall mental function. It strengthens useful connections between brain cells that help you remember names, follow conversations, and stay mentally alert. At the same time, it removes weaker connections that are no longer needed. This ongoing process of strengthening and removing connections helps the brain operate efficiently when you wake up. It also contributes to the feeling of mental clarity and focus that many people notice after a good night's sleep. After the age of 60, however, this system gradually becomes less effective. These changes usually do not appear overnight, nor are they immediately obvious. Instead, they develop slowly and quietly over many years. In many cases, people do not notice anything unusual until memory, processing speed, or overall thinking ability begins to decline in ways that become difficult to dismiss. By then, some of the biological systems that support brain health may have been weakening for a long time. One important point that is often missed is that these changes are not caused by aging alone. Several factors play a role, including the nutrients available to the brain during key repair periods such as sleep. The foods eaten during the evening hours can have a larger effect than many people realize. They do far more than satisfy hunger. They influence how effectively the brain carries out its overnight repair and maintenance work. Unlike medications and supplements, which are frequently mentioned when discussing brain health, the focus here is on ordinary whole foods that most people can easily find. These are not expensive specialty products or difficult to find ingredients. They are foods commonly sold in grocery stores and can fit into everyday eating habits without much effort. Yet despite their simplicity, they can affect how well the brain repairs and maintains itself while you sleep. Before discussing those foods, it is important to understand what is actually happening inside the aging brain during the night. Once that process becomes clear, nutrition starts to look much less like a helpful suggestion and much more like an important part of protecting long-term cognitive health. With that knowledge, the choices made at dinner and before bed take on a much greater level of importance. Within the brain exists a specialized system that scientists only identified relatively recently. Its purpose is straightforward, but its role is extremely important. Throughout the day, as the brain thinks, learns, processes information, and forms memories, it naturally creates waste products. These include metabolic byproducts, improperly folded proteins, and other substances that can interfere with normal function if they remain in place for too long. Researchers understood for many years that this waste had to be removed somehow, but they did not fully understand how the process worked. The answer came with the discovery of a system that becomes especially active during deep sleep. At that time, cerebrospinal fluid moves through channels within the brain, washing away accumulated waste. In simple terms, it acts somewhat like a cleaning process that helps clear unwanted material and restore a healthier internal environment each night. Scientists call this cleaning network the glymphatic system. Its job is critical for maintaining mental sharpness and reducing the buildup of substances that can become harmful over time. One of the most important substances it helps remove is a protein known as beta amyloid. This protein has been strongly linked to cognitive decline and diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. In brains that experience healthy, high-quality sleep, beta amyloid is routinely cleared away during the night. But when deep sleep is shortened or repeatedly interrupted, this cleaning process becomes less efficient. As the years pass, reduced glymphatic activity can allow beta amyloid and other waste products to slowly accumulate. This buildup does not create immediate warning signs. Instead, it develops quietly over long periods of time. By the time noticeable memory problems or thinking difficulties begin to appear, the process may have already been taking place for many years, sometimes for more than a decade. That gradual progression helps explain why cognitive decline can seem to arrive unexpectedly, even though the biological changes behind it have been developing silently for a very long time. At this stage, an important question comes up. What role does diet play in all of this? The answer is that the glymphatic system does not function separately from the rest of the body's health. Its performance depends on many internal conditions, including nutrient levels, inflammation, and sleep quality. For the brain to carry out its nightly cleanup work, it needs a steady supply of specific nutrients. These include healthy fats that help keep brain cell membranes flexible, vitamins that support the nervous system, and minerals that help control electrical signaling between neurons. The brain also benefits from compounds that help limit inflammation and oxidative damage, allowing repair and maintenance processes to occur more efficiently. When these nutrients are lacking, the glymphatic system may not work as effectively, which can reduce the brain's ability to clear waste. If this happens repeatedly, the effects can gradually add up. Night after night, the brain may not receive the support it needs to perform at its best. The difference from one day to the next may be small and difficult to notice, but over the course of months or years, those small changes can become meaningful. Because this process develops slowly, many people never connect their daily food choices with the long-term condition of their brain. This is why evening nutrition deserves more attention than it often receives. The brain depends on the right nutrients to support the important work it performs during sleep. When those nutrients are missing or present in inadequate amounts, the systems responsible for cleaning, repairing, and maintaining the brain cannot function as effectively as they should. Over time, this may allow waste products to build up while cognitive performance gradually declines. Looking at the issue this way changes how we think about dinner. The meal before bedtime is not only about satisfying hunger or providing energy. It is also an opportunity to supply the brain with the materials it needs to carry out critical maintenance tasks overnight. From that perspective, the choices made in the evening become far more important than many people realize. Another major factor working alongside the brain's waste-clearing system is inflammation. Although the term is often used in a broad sense, inflammation within the brain refers to a specific biological condition that can affect how neurons communicate, function, and recover. As people get older, low-level chronic inflammation becomes more common. Its effects may not be obvious right away, but they can influence brain health over long periods of time. When inflammation remains elevated, it can interfere with several important processes. One of the first areas affected is the glymphatic system. Higher levels of inflammation can reduce the brain's ability to remove waste during sleep, making substances such as beta amyloid harder to clear. Inflammation can also interfere with sleep quality, making it more difficult to reach and maintain the deep stages of sleep where much of the brain's repair work takes place. This creates a cycle that can be difficult to break. Poor sleep can increase inflammation, and increased inflammation can further worsen sleep quality. Over time, this cycle can reduce the brain's ability to care for itself effectively. Inflammation can also harm the synapses that connect neurons. These connections are essential for memory and thinking. In addition, inflammation can affect mitochondria, the structures inside cells that produce energy. When mitochondria become less efficient, brain cells have fewer resources available to carry out their normal activities. After the age of 60, inflammation becomes an issue that deserves careful attention. While severe inflammation is not guaranteed, mild to moderate chronic inflammation is fairly common, especially among people who are not regularly consuming foods that support a healthy inflammatory response. This is one reason diet plays such an important role in brain health. Certain foods provide compounds that help keep inflammation under control, reducing its effects and helping the brain's repair systems work more effectively. Memories are not stored randomly. Instead, the brain strengthens the neural connections linked to important information while reducing the emphasis on details that are less useful. During sleep, experiences from the day, including conversations, observations, and newly learned information, are processed and moved from short-term storage into more stable, long-term memory systems. This process relies heavily on the brain's internal environment. Neurotransmitters, electrical communication, and the strength of synaptic connections all influence how successfully memories are formed and preserved. Like the glymphatic system, memory consolidation depends on healthy conditions within the brain. When those conditions are disrupted by poor sleep, nutrient shortages, or elevated inflammation, the brain may become less efficient at forming and retaining memories. As time passes, this can appear as slower recall, reduced mental sharpness, or greater difficulty learning and remembering new information. As people get older, several changes happen inside the body that can affect how it works day to day. Melatonin levels tend to drop, which can shift sleep timing and reduce deep sleep stages. Brain chemicals may also decrease, which can affect mood and thinking speed. On top of that, nutrient absorption from food often becomes less efficient, so even a decent diet may not provide the same support it once did. Energy production inside cells also tends to slow down because mitochondria do not work as efficiently with age. Since mitochondria produce energy for cells, this drop directly affects how well the brain can handle repair work during the night. When these changes combine, the brain ends up working with fewer resources while still trying to maintain the same level of function. Even so, these shifts are not fixed or unavoidable in every case. Lifestyle and food choices can play a major role in how strongly they show up. The brain can still adjust and respond to better nutrition and healthier routines at later stages of life. Research keeps showing that even in older age, the brain reacts to what it is given through food and environment. It does not simply shut down or decline in a straight line. Instead, it can still adjust based on conditions, even in people in their 70s or 80s. Because of this, certain whole foods stand out for their role in supporting brain activity during sleep. These foods are not rare or difficult to find. Their benefit comes from the nutrients they contain and how those nutrients interact with the body. When eaten regularly, especially in the evening, they can support memory, sleep quality, and overall brain maintenance. Number 1. Sardines. Sardines are small fish, but they are packed with nutrients linked to brain function. They contain omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA and EPA. DHA is a key part of brain cell membranes and helps nerve cells communicate efficiently. When DHA levels are adequate, these membranes stay flexible, which supports smooth signaling between neurons. When levels are low, signaling can become less efficient. Sardines also provide vitamin B12 in a form that is easy for the body to use. Vitamin B12 supports the myelin sheath, which surrounds nerve fibers and helps electrical signals travel properly. With age, B12 absorption often drops, which makes food sources more important. Low B12 levels can slow nerve activity and affect thinking speed over time. Another benefit of sardines is that they sit low on the food chain, which means they carry much less mercury than larger fish. This makes them a safer option for regular meals, around 2 to 3 times per week. Number 2. Avocado. Avocado is well known for its healthy fat content, especially monounsaturated fats. These fats support blood flow, including circulation to the brain. Good circulation matters because the brain depends on a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients. Even small drops in blood flow can affect mental performance over time. Avocados also contain folate, which is involved in methylation, a process that affects how the body produces and regulates neurotransmitters. This includes chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, which influence mood, focus, and mental balance. Folate also plays a role in DNA repair and normal cell function. Another advantage is that avocado is digested slowly, which means its nutrients are released gradually. When eaten in the evening, it can support the body during nighttime repair periods when the brain is active in maintenance work. Number 3, walnuts. Walnuts are often grouped with other nuts, but they have a specific nutrient profile that makes them especially useful for brain function. They contain alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fat. While it is different from DHA found in fish, it still supports cell health and brain activity. Walnuts are also linked to mitophagy, which is the process where the body clears out damaged mitochondria inside cells. When damaged mitochondria build up, energy production drops and stress inside cells increases. Through mitophagy, the body replaces less efficient parts with healthier ones, helping cells maintain better energy output, including brain cells. Number 4, spinach. Spinach contains a wide range of nutrients that support brain health. It is rich in folate, which helps with neurotransmitter production and DNA repair. It also contains magnesium, a mineral that helps calm nerve activity and supports deeper sleep. Better sleep allows the brain to spend more time in repair stages during the night. Spinach also contains nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide. This helps relax blood vessels and improves blood flow, including to the brain. Better circulation supports oxygen delivery and nutrient supply to brain cells. It also provides vitamins like K and E. Vitamin K supports the myelin sheath around nerves, while vitamin E acts as an antioxidant that helps protect brain cells from damage caused by oxidative stress. These nutrients work together to support both brain structure and protection over time. Number 5, mackerel. Mackerel is another fish that is very rich in omega-3 fatty acids, often at even higher levels than many other commonly eaten fish. These fats help maintain brain cell membrane structure and fluidity. They also help reduce inflammation in brain tissue, which can affect cognitive health when it stays elevated for long periods. Mackerel also supports brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein linked to neuron growth and maintenance. This protein plays a role in learning, memory formation, and how flexible the brain is in adapting to new information. Higher levels are associated with stronger neural function and better memory performance. Combined effect is broader than any single food on its own. Each one contributes in a different way. Some provide fats that support brain structure, others supply vitamins and minerals, while others support blood flow, energy production, or inflammation balance. Together, they create a steady supply of nutrients that support the brain during its nightly repair cycle. Timing and regular intake matter, especially in the evening when the body is focused on recovery work. Over time, these consistent habits can support better sleep, clearer thinking, and steadier memory function. Brain health is shaped by daily choices over long periods, not by one single factor. Sleep, nutrition, and lifestyle all work together to influence how well the brain performs as it ages. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.